There was a time when Nickelodeon didn't feel like a TV channel. It felt like a place. Not a brand, not a corporation, a place where the rules were loose, the colors were loud, and everything felt a little bit chaotic in the best way possible. You didn't just watch Nickelodeon, you entered it. Slime dripping across the screen, weird sound effects cutting into commercials, cartoons that looked wrong on purpose. Nickelodeon wasn't trying to be polished, it was trying to be fun. And somehow, along the way, that feeling disappeared. Nickelodeon's original identity was built on a simple but powerful idea. Kids don't need to be talked down to. They didn't need lessons wrapped in bright colors or stories smoothed into perfect shapes. They could handle weirdness. They could handle sarcasm, absurdity, and even discomfort. Shows like Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, and SpongeBob trusted their audience to keep up. Jokes flew by fast. Animation stretched and snapped in impossible ways. Characters were flawed, loud, awkward, and sometimes downright unpleasant. And that was the point. Early Nickelodeon felt rebellious, even when it wasn't trying to be. It rejected the clean, moralizing tone of traditional kids' television and replaced it with noise, mess, and personality. The network didn't just allow creators to take risks. It seemed to encourage them. Every show felt like it came from a different mind, a different sense of humor, a different corner of someone's imagination. Nickelodeon wasn't unified by style, it was unified by attitude. And that attitude made Nickelodeon feel alive. But identity, especially one built on chaos and creativity, is fragile. It doesn't survive well inside spreadsheets and boardrooms. And slowly, almost invisibly at first, Nickelodeon began to change. The shift didn't happen overnight. There was no single moment where the channel suddenly became worse. Instead, it became safer. As the media landscape grew more competitive and corporate oversight tightened, experimentation became a risk. Risk became liability, and liability became something to avoid at all costs. Nickelodeon found something that worked. SpongeBob, and held onto it as tightly as possible. Rather than being one strange success among many, SpongeBob became the backbone of the entire network. Scheduling revolved around it, branding leaned on it, new shows weren't allowed to exist freely anymore. Creativity was no longer the goal, consistency was. At the same time, Nickelodeon's visual and tonal identity began to smooth itself out. The messy bumpers disappeared, the chaotic transitions faded, the slime became more symbolic than disruptive. Everything looked cleaner, flatter, more controlled. The channel started to feel less like a playground and more like a product designed to be easily recognizable, easily marketable, and easily exported across platforms. This wasn't just an aesthetic change, it was a philosophical one. The network that once thrived on unpredictability began to fear it. Shows became louder but less sharp. Get it? Humor shifted from layered and absurd to broad and obvious. Characters became more exaggerated, but also more hollow. The weirdness was still there, but it felt manufactured. Like someone was trying to recreate chaos without understanding why it worked in the first place. Nickelodeon didn't lose its identity because it stopped caring. It lost its identity because it started optimizing. In the age of streaming, algorithms, and endless content libraries, being memorable matters more than being meaningful. Safe shows don't offend, familiar shows don't scare executives, and predictable content performs well enough to justify its existence. But what it doesn't do is stick. It doesn't grow with its audience. It doesn't become something people carry with them into adulthood. Like there's some grown men that still talk about how funny SpongeBob is. It's because it holds up. And that's why this loss matters. Nickelodeon didn't collapse. It didn't fail. It simply grew up, traded curiosity for caution, and slowly forgot what made it special in the first place. And maybe that's inevitable. Maybe no channel can stay weird forever.